Scraps. I usually go live on Mondays and Thursdays to make some pretty things. A lot of times I take and make trash into treasure. Sometimes I just take new things and make new pretty things. I just love to make pretty things. And of course, you know, crafting is sort of my craft therapy. So I hope you'll come along with me and say hello, do all the things. Make sure you subscribe and like. And hit that little bell button so you know when I do go live. So I appreciate you being on here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am actually going to work on these Easter egg chubbies that I got earlier this season. I kind of waited. By the time I got them in my possession, they had gone out of the stockpile. So they were not available. But that being said, you can get all kinds of the... and I was wondering if these old ones fit. No. You can actually get, you know, egg chubbies or egg type wooden eggs like at Dollar Tree, things like that. So it's not hard to get. Nope, of course they're not the same size, right? Excuse me. I was thinking that I could use some of my ones from last year's eggs. We did have some eggs last year that were a little more, and I still have quite a few of those left. They were a reusable surface. They're like a thin kind of plastic. They were called the Boutique Chockable Shakes. Same thing. I sort of like kept them on hand for a long time, too long maybe. But I do not have like anything that says Easter on it. So kind of winging it today, I guess. I don't know. I was thinking I had something that said, I have hip hop. I don't know if that fits. I guess it does. We could do that. Let's see. That is an option. That is an option. I don't know why. I don't know. Kind of my stack of things I haven't used yet. We could use this little bunny, I think. It would fit. I think he would fit. Yep. I don't know. Got some options. So hopefully you're having a great Monday. Excuse me. It is very, very windy outside. So I'm just going to start off. And I really want to just actually do sort of a monotone anyway. And you could do this. This is the transfer that kind of goes with it. And for some reason, I thought these had something with it. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I clearly have no idea what I was thinking. So there's 4 in this set. And like I said, this is not available, but you could probably get something at your local craft store that's very similar and do the same idea. All you'd have to do is use some, see how they like stand up like this? They're 2 different ways. They're already pre-painted. I was kind of thinking, I was thinking about doing a little painting today. And I have got metallic eggshell blue. That is the one that's available. I've also got the eggshell blue. I think I'm going to use the regular eggshell blue. The one thing I do know about when you use paste to paint, I usually add a little bit of water, especially to my brush. Make sure my brush is nice and moist when I use it. And then the other thing I try to do is, if you're using, you water it down a lot more if you are using a paste that is got a shimmer in it. So the eggshell it's a metallic actually. Metallics and shimmers are going to give you a little bit more problem. They're a little bit more problematic. What I found is they tend to be a little lumpy when you paste them on, when you paint with them. So what I like to do is just go ahead and water them down really well and do very thin coats, several thin coats of it. So I'm going to start with that one. I haven't decided on the other color, probably a pink. Pink is always one of my favorite go-to colors. I like pink. What is your favorite Easter color? What color would you start with? Hello, hello. I drawl. Like my accent, are you saying? All right, let's see. I'm going to have to do another. So that is one side, and you can see there's a little bit of white going through. It probably would be okay. We can go on it. So I'm going to look for a pink. That's going to be my next color. Pink without... Ooh, you know what's a really good color actually for Easter is Sunset Drive. It's kind of a, it's more of an orange though. Might stay away from that, but you know, we'll see. So make sure to say hello if you're in here. And I kind of like to do like DIYs. Should I do that? That is peony, or I might do Dear Diary. It's just a little more muted. I haven't used it a whole lot. So this was a color that was kind of a monthly color. So I've got lots of it. Let's see how this goes. We can always change our mind and do a second coat on something else. So I set that one aside just to get it to dry, and to set my water aside so I can't find it. I like to put the water just like in my lid of my paste. And a lot of times that kind of picks up some of those little dribbles that are in the lid of the paste, number one, and it keeps it there. It's okay if it gets my, really like this one. Actually, it sort of looks like, it almost looks like skin tone. I don't know. I've been kind of saving off doing, like coloring my Peanuts characters because I'm a little afraid of doing the skin tone color. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't even tried. If that tells you anything about it. I'm chicken. All right. How do you think that is? Look, that is called Dear Diary. That is the color that, I don't know. It's not as bright as I thought it would be. It's kind of, like I said, it's more of a muted pink. It's not as nice as I thought it would be. It is kind of, maybe with a little bit of white in it, it would be a skin tone. Like for the Peanuts faces. I don't know. What do you think? Am I an artist? I am a crafter. I love to take things and make them pretty. I like to take like old windows and old even shovels or whatever, and I love using chalk paste and transfers, and that's what I like to do. So stick around, make sure you subscribe and like and do all the things for me, because I'm a small business owner, and maybe you'll learn some things. I know somebody just asked me, how did you get these to get painted? I think she was using a shimmer, so it's kind of glumpy on there. So, and I've had that happen. It happens. You can either, if you get it kind of gloppy, kind of a gloppy mess when you put it on, you can take it off with a wipe, because these are water soluble, or you could use a piece of sandpaper and smooth it off and then, you know, finish up that way. The cool thing about these eggs is you can really do both sides. Get a little bit more water in there. So I just like the smoothness that the water does to it to make it just blend in really nice. My eggshell's a little more goopy than everything else is. All right. And this one, I might change colors on myself, because I think this one is going to be too... There's my eggshell. I love that color. Love that color. It's one of my favorites. Kind of. We do have that in a metallic right now, so that is really gorgeous. I'm just going to give this a dry. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that color. So it is Monday here in Idaho. It's kind of overcast. We have a kind of a cloudy day. Like to give you an idea of what's going on in my neck of the woods. I'm in my little Airstream camper, which is my crafty place. Well, thank you so much. What's your favorite go-to Easter color. What's your favorite Easter color? Do you like the pastels, and which one is your favorite? I would love to hear that. I think we're gonna go with this. I'm gonna wash my brush off even. We're gonna go with this peony. Some people call it peony. I come from the Midwest, so even though I live in the West, Northwest, I don't know if I got that very well. So we called it peony where I was from. And I've definitely heard it all the ways. Oops, that was kind of still dirty here. Trying to get the pink off my brush. Go on to the next one. Trying to get a little bit brighter pink on here. So we're just going to call that our base coat, maybe, and go with a little bit more, a brighter, pinkier. The other color I do like and appreciate at Easter time is kind of a lavender color, or purples. Purples are nice. So tell me what your favorite is. I think my favorite is the eggshell blue. Definitely love that. And these we could do double-sided. Exactly. It is about trying your best, for sure. You are exactly right. It is. I don't know that I would consider myself as much of an artist, because I'm really not good at painting in lines. If you watch me any amount of time, I'm quite the messy painter, actually. I make a mess everywhere. Okay, I think I like that pink a lot better. That's peony. And that one's definitely going to need another coat, so I'll get my dryer out here. That is very good. That is truth. Trying to do your best. Just always do your best, right? And then I was going to, over the top of this plain color, I'm probably going to do either white or vanilla. So just kind of a plain, and then use a pattern on it. That is my plan. Ooh, got it on there thick in the middle. It does kind of lighten up a little bit. You can see where, I don't know why my throat is bothering me today. Thank you. I sure appreciate everybody for watching. Like I said, I'm originally from the Midwest, so sometimes I say things a little different than they do around here. I do see a little bit around the edges. So if you ever get, like, see, I got a little bit of paint paste there on the edges. All you have to do is come around with a sandpaper. I found our shapes, these are from Chalk Couture, these shapes, they don't seem like it's very hard to get them to actually sand off on the edges. Maybe I'll do this at the end so we don't get it all over our paint, but all right. And I want to get this top because, like I said, I've got kind of some thick. If you ever do, a paint coat and it gets kind of like a thick spot, feel free to go over it a little bit with your sandpaper. I'm just going to clean it up here because I don't want the sandpaper on there. And it's going to pick up some of the paste too, which is okay. And then I'm going to dry it again. My paste was a little on the thick side. I'm going to just add some distilled water to that. Try to get it a little less thick. So this round of painting hopefully will just be a thinner coat. I always think you can paint on as thick as you want, but I usually think that it's better to try to get thin coats, several thin coats. I just think it works better. You have less chance of having those big goobers there in the middle. and it usually blends in nicer. So even if it takes you 2 or 3 coats, and this one's taking me 3 because I started with a different color, so we're all good to go. All right, I think this is going to be the good coat. And my peony is getting down there. I might have to replace that one. Do you say peony with an O, like P-R, or an ah sound? On like ostrich, ostrich, or O like as in oats? Peony. Which way do you say it? Peony. I'm sorry you feel bad. Oops. I'm glad you're here. If you're interested in any of the products that I use, just go ahead. I have the links down below, and I try to get up any of my like finished goods that I finish up. I try to get those listed on my website, which is prairiescraps.com, the same as my channel, just .com, and feel free to contact me through that if you wanted to get, you know, anything. Or you can ask questions here. I'll try to respond. I just find that on YouTube, I can't like respond back directly. So unless you, I don't think there's a messaging way on. So I'm just kind of going around and cleaning up the edges here. There was just a little bit, taking the sandpaper around the edges, just kind of cleans up any sloppiness. If you didn't want to do this, you could definitely use a little bit of painter's tape around the edges too. I just want it to look nice and clean around the edges. All right, there is the pink. And let's check. See, there's like just a little dot there. So what I'll just do is lightly sand on that. These edges, they don't seem to really come off ever. They're pretty hard to get off, in fact. I don't know what they do on the edges, but got some more. Might need a new sanding block. I love these little sanding blocks. I get them at Dollar Tree. I don't know if you've ever gotten your sanding blocks there, but our Dollar Tree hasn't raised the rates at all on it, so it's still $1 on those. At least that's what it says on the tag. I never check though. I need to. Okay, so we have 2 different colors, and we're going to use this transfer. It is called Easter egg patterns. I actually think the patterns are still available, so feel free to, and you could use these for other things. Like, how cute would it be to use, oops, I stuck that right onto my transfer, not good. How cute would it, they have 4 different patterns. These would be so cute, like on a t-shirt, kid's t-shirt. That would be so cute. Or you could use it on a tea towel. And I think I want to use, what was that? I'm going to use a little bit of wax to start with, because I want to make sure I seal this on here. Sometimes what happens when you paint on it, it'll lift it off when I put my transfer on it and peel it off. So we're just going to protect it a little by putting some clear wax on here. You can even kind of see the grooves on there. Just a teeny bit, a little dab will do ya. Every time I go live, you hear the truck in the background. It's like, it'll be nice and quiet in my neighborhood, and then all the noisy trucks come. But I want to use this little striped pattern here with the flowers on it for the baby's egg blue, I think. And we'll put this down. Let me put you down here so you can see it a little bit better. I apologize. I don't know. I wasn't coughing before I started talking. I started coughing. Let's see. I'm hoping it's a little bigger. A little bigger than the egg, but it's not. It's actually a little smaller. That end does go off. So top to bottom. Sometimes, you know, the wood doesn't get cut as accurately as the circle. One of our shapes recently came, the little bunnies, the chubby bunnies we had, the transfer that went with them actually had an outline on it. That was amazing. You just line up the outline. That was so cool. You are very welcome. Hello, Victoria. I do see you. Thank you so much for coming on, helping me out. Love it. Oops. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. It happens, right? All right. I know that the paint on these are, I might use the vanilla. I just like vanilla right now, but the paint on the eggs is actually bright white. So if you wanted to match exactly, get it? Ha ha ha. Yay, yes, I know. I'm happy to see you too, Victoria. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just going to do these eggs up really quick. Unfortunately, they went fast. This is one of those things that if you didn't get it right off the bat, sometimes if you see things in our stock with the craft supplies, you want to get them right away because they do go fast, and faster sometimes than I can even get them. But I did get the Chubbie eggs when they were available, and I thought I waited and waited to do them because by the time I received them in the mail or there it is. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. So beautiful. I love that so much. Isn't that pretty? By the time I got them from the UPS guy, it was already like gone. I don't know. I do love the polka dots. I don't know. I love the flowers too. Maybe I'll just do side by side. I'll have to just try each one. There are 4, so you could do one of each pattern. I love it when the company just comes up with, the plan for things, and I don't have to come up with it. I could just copy it. I'm not a great planner. Let's see how this goes on here. It always makes me a little, I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm not a very creative type, so I love it when a plan comes together, when it's all planned out for me. So this one's going to be majority of the vanilla color because only the green parts are going to be the peony. So all that work to get that peony on there, it's all good. It's not going to waste. It's there for good reason. It's easier to just paint the whole thing. And here we go. I'm actually getting warm. I was thinking it was cold because it's like windy out here. My daughter said it was cold out when she went out to get wood for the fire. So I put my flannel on before I came out because I'm using a little, kind of like a oilish heater. It's not fueled by oil, but it's got like oil in it, I think is how it works. I'm not sure. But anyway, it doesn't get very hot, but sometimes the camper does because it's in. Oop, I was pretty crooked on the egg. I'm not gonna lie. I was crooked, but isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. It is really cute. Kind of wish I wasn't so crooked. That was silly. Oh, well, they'll just look pretty on the mantle. Nobody goes up and goes, oh my gosh, you put that on crooked. Actually, if you go in the stores these days, they're kind of crooked. So there are my 2 eggs, eggshell blue, peony. I haven't been able to purchase any of the oh, no. Yeah, I agree with you. I just had to pick and choose. Actually, speaking of Tiffany, I will be going next here right now onto YouTube to do a live. Just as soon as I take off my flannel, because I'm like melting. I'm going to do a Tiffany one. I was very picky and choosy. I would have loved to get everything to try it all out, but I couldn't. So, you just have to make your choices. I totally get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm totally on a budget too, so it's not easy to always be like, okay, this is going to be the one that's going to really sell or really I'm going to love. The Tiffany things aren't like, I'm a farmhouse kind of girl. So there are those eggs. Aren't they beautiful? I just love the tiny detail, but that it's more blue. This one's less pink, I would say. And I may even go around the edge since it looks so crooked. I don't know. I could go around the edge with a paintbrush and do a little off-white just to kind of fill in that edge so it doesn't look so obvious, but I don't know. Maybe I won't. We'll just leave it. That one is the Egg of Redo. Thank you so much. Yes, I love them. So I was waiting to do it, thinking that maybe they would reissue some, and it never did reissue. So here we are. We're doing it. I apologize that they're not available. But that being said, on the market, a lot of the places do have kind of like the wood Chubbie eggs. So you could do the same idea just using a regular pattern. Like you could even use, I highly suggest, this is a Tiffany pattern. This is called Full Bloomin'. I love this. I think this would be really cute on those eggs as well. And then she had another pattern as well. I love the patterns. I'm a pattern. She did this pattern. It's called Weaving. And so it's kind of like a woven fabric. So anyway, that's what I've got for you today. I hope that you guys are having a great day. If you didn't check out yesterday's, I did do a surprise little bunny pillow with carrots made with that Tiffany pattern. This one, I made some carrots out of this. So cute, cute, cute. If you want to go back and watch that, it's kind of a DIY how to make fabric carrots. And then also how to turn the club transfer into a cute little pillow for the season. So that's what I've got for you over here. I'll be going right now over to YouTube. I would love to have you over there, Prairie Scraps as well. And we're going to be doing some more Tiffany projects over there because I'm challenging myself. Like I said, I'm not as modern in my style, so trying to assimilate it into my own style. So that's how I'm. All right, we will see you soon. See you right over there. I could do them both if I were getting my husband hasn't figured out the computer yet, so I apologize. All right, have a great day. Be very blessed and keep on crafting.